Imagine this, a child in a remote Indian village streaming an online lesson effortlessly. A farmer in the Himalayas checking the real-time market prices with a click. A disaster-hit community instantly reconnected when all else fails. For over 1 billion people in India, that's been a dream, often crushed by mountains, rivers and the sheer cost of laying cables. India is a country with 1.4 billion people on the cusp of industrial revolution. While the cities in India can boast of high-speed internet due to fiber optic cables, the villages in India, this high-speed internet is a luxury. Often getting internet only is a big thing in villages. But what if I tell you the solution for this is not underground in laying these fiber optic cables, but by the satellites which hover over our heads? Enter Starlink, Elon Musk's ambitious satellite internet constellation, which is not just a global phenomenon. It is poised to enter into India, promising high-speed internet access across all landscapes in India from the air. But is this Starlink going to replace the time-tested fiber optic cables which is providing internet for us today? Today we are going to pit these two giants against each other and seeing the advantages between them. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Everything with Dr. James. Today we are going to be speaking about the entry of Starlink into India. First, let's understand the challenge. Starlink is not just your grandfather's internet satellite. Usually, satellites hover around 36,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface. This distance increases the latency of internet speeds, making video calls and online gaming difficult. Enter Starlink. This Starlink is a project by the SpaceX company which they produce low Earth orbiting satellites. These satellites hover at about 550 kilometers from the Earth's surface. This reduction of distance from 36,000 kilometers to 550 kilometers makes the latency reduce, because of which the internet speed becomes more responsive and increased. Each Starlink satellite acts like a mini cell tower, producing signals which go to a compact dish which is situated in the homes and businesses, which are affectionately called as dishy. This dishy is in turn connected to the ground station which provides the broader internet. This complex dance of orbital hardware in interplay with this ground station tries to provide internet in places where traditional infrastructure cannot reach. Starlink's journey in India hasn't been smooth. After getting initial pre-bookings, they ran into a lot of regulatory hurdles and they spent years navigating India's complex telecom landscape. But as of July 2025, they've got the crucial GMPCS license from the Indian Ministry of Telecommunications, and they are also getting the final processes done from InSpace, India's space regulator. However, the rollout is not immediate. Starlink still has to establish this Earth station and demonstrate service functionality for security clearance. This step has only prevented Jio from entering this commercial space. If all goes according to plan, in 2 months we can have Starlink connecting various parts of India in areas where fiber optic cables were not possible in the near future, and we will get internet speeds of 50 to 250 Mbps. Now coming to the advantages. The major advantage which a Starlink satellite can provide is the reach. India's fiber optic backbone, though providing high-speed internet, this is confined only to major cities. They are not being able to provide similar internet in many villages in India, mainly because of the difficulty in laying these fiber optic cables over difficult terrain and rivers, and the cost associated with it. Each Starlink satellite covers hundreds of square kilometers, which can potentially provide access to remote villages, remote farms, and disaster-struck zones where terrestrial connections can either be destroyed or actually impractical to lay in that area. This can bridge India's great digital divide between the city and villages. Imagine having a village as equal opportunity as city because the internet connection is the same speed as the city, giving them equal opportunities in education, healthcare, as well as economic prosperity. This is what the Starlink stands to offer. Second advantage is the rapid deployment. Rolling fiber optic cables across state takes years, but Starlink satellites can be deployed within minutes. So in times of emergencies and accesses to remote villages, these Starlink satellites can be set up immediately, providing people with internet and telephone access in times of emergencies. The third thing is the resilience to disasters. Fiber optic cables laying underground have risk of being destroyed by earthquakes and floods, which is overcome by these Starlink satellites. The fourth one is the portability and mobility. Though the option is not provided to India currently, Starlinks have an option of roaming where they can take a portable device with them. Suppose somebody is going for a remote scientific expedition or mobile healthcare research, they can take this device with them such that they will provide internet access even in remote areas, which will be crucial to our development and in times of emergencies. The major challenge Starlink is going to face is the cost. The initial hardware is expected to cost around 33,000 Indian rupees, with monthly people having to shell out 3,000 to 4,200 for internet access. Though this amount is affordable by the urban class of the Indian population, this amount is still will not be affordable by the majority of the rural Indian population. Now coming to the advantages of fiber optic cables over Starlink satellites. These fiber optic cables can provide symmetrical high speeds of up to 1000 Mbps, which is currently unmatched by the Starlink satellites. The second thing is the fiber optic cables have ultra low latency of about 1 to 5 milliseconds, which is faster than the latency period of these Starlink satellites. The last point is Starlink satellites require a clear weather to operate. So in times of rain, there is a possibility that connection can be interrupted, which does not happen in the case of fiber optic cables. The introduction of Starlink into India is not about it replacing the fiber rather than working complementary with it. The digital India's future is going to be a hybrid mode where high-speed, low-latency internet provided by these fiber optic cables will cater to the urban population needs, whereas the Starlink will provide internet access to remote villages, remote farms, in mountains and in times of emergencies. Do like, share and subscribe me for more interesting videos like this.